And Cameron, thanks so much for joining us. I'm excited to talk to you. I've been wanting to catch up with you since the season ended. I can't get my head around this stat for Aliquippa that you guys are the first Aliquippa team to go undefeated and win a state title. That's what I read. Has it been found that that's not true? Like that has to have happened some other time, right?
No, it's never out of all the state teams. No, they always had at least one or more losses.
That's amazing. I mean, like when you first heard that, were you like, "Wait, no way"? Like, did you believe that when you first heard it? I can't believe
When
it.
I no, when I first heard it, I definitely didn't think it was true. I thought we had like a year where we like 1 year at least that we were undefeated. But as I got older and I learned the history, like we never had a team that went undefeated. So now that we did that, that's crazy to me now though.
It's crazy to me. I still can't believe it. I want to go back and read through the history books, but I'm sure everybody's, looked it up and researched. You think about all the players that have come through Aliquippa and to never, to never do that. That's shocking to me. So if I told you in August, listen, you guys are not going to lose a game and you're going to win a state title, I'm sure you were confident, but you probably thought, well, we'll drop one along the way, right? Or was that always the thought? Like, no, we are going to go out there, we're going to win every game, we're going to win a state championship.
I mean, yeah, that's the goal, just going out there winning every game all the way to the state championship. Even with last year's class, we just fell short in the state championship game, but we were in the same predicament last year, and all we talked about, the week of the game was we got to finish it this year and not come up short.
What was it about this team? I mean, obviously, I mean it's Aliquippa. You guys always have great players, loaded freshmen to seniors and all that. What was it about this year's team though that you feel like enabled you guys to do something that's never done before?
I think having veterans in certain positions kind of helped a lot. I mean, our center, like he's been playing since his sophomore year, like me, and I feel like he's helped the younger guys on the line just figure all that out, and then having a veteran quarterback with veteran skill positions too, I think that helped a lot. And then just trying to use, our old or like I don't want to say old because that made me like sound super old, but just being a leader and taking what we know and just applying it to them and just trying to help the younger guys, play at a top level.
With a program like Aliquippa, I mean, with all the history, what kind of pressure is there, for all you guys as you come into the program to know that this is what Aliquippa does. This is what they've always done. And it's up to you to carry on that tradition. And if you fall short, if you guys didn't win the Whippeal 2 years, out of your high school career, it would be kind of a disappointment. You know what I mean? Because the expectations are so high. What kind of pressure does that create for guys, coming into that program?
No, coming in, I mean, ever since we had won in 2021, I mean, Coach Mike just said, we don't get rings for winning the Whippeals, so I mean, you might as well go big or go home. And so we got like a state championship or bust mentality now. And I feel like over the years that's just grown on because since my freshman year when we lost to Thomas Jefferson in overtime, I knew I wasn't even really playing too much, but I knew I didn't want to feel like that again. So I just been trying to go out there every Friday and try not to feel like another loss really.
How many games have you lost? I think I know the answer to this, but I want to hear if you know it off the top of your head. How many games have you lost in high school?
I only lost 3 high school games, and each team that we played that we lost to ended up winning the state championship.
Do you remember each of those three games? Like, are you one of these guys like you can remember details about what happened in each of those three losses? How you guys ended up losing?
Yeah, I can remember most of the games pretty vividly, especially probably the most recent one with McDevitt. But I can remember my freshman year losing to TJ. It was back and forth for like a good the first like 3.5 quarters, and then they got a touchdown, and then they had what happened? Oh, they had a big return on they had a big kick return and got them set up, and then they ended up scoring that drive, and we were down 14 with like the start of the fourth quarter, and then we ended up fighting back and tying the game up, and ended up forcing it into overtime. But they scored their first drive, and then they ended up getting an interception. And seeing those seniors and all the older guys like that hurt me a lot. I wasn't even out there too much, and then The next year we played CV. It was a good game. We were just trying to figure out what we were getting on offense, but defensive wise, I mean, Landon Alexander was causing us problems, I think, and then that was really a big part of the game because their quarterback had got hurt like one of the earlier plays in the game, and then I'm trying to think what else happened that game. We scored. Oh yeah, we fought back. We scored, and then we ended up being down. I think 14-12, and then I think they ended up breaking like a big play late, and then they ended up scoring, and we ended up losing 21-12. But
Mm.
that was a game that hurt too, because it's a big rivalry game with Central Valley now. So that was when we definitely won it. And then Bishop McDevitt, I feel like we didn't have our center that game, and not to make excuses, but I mean he's been playing a lot, and like he's a big piece for us. And I mean I don't think I really understood how much a center meant until we didn't have him for that game, and I mean it was causing us a lot of problems up front. And then their offense, they were just making great plays, and they just definitely got the better of us that night. But yeah, I definitely remember my three losses though for sure.
I could sit down here and ask you to recount all the wins, but you won like 50 some games, right? Over the course of 3 years,
Yeah,
4 years.
I
So
think it's 52-3 or something like that.
right. So you're 52-3. I mean, if we sat here and asked you to tell me details about all 52 wins, I mean, we'd be here for the next like 3 hours. So I figured when you've only had, I mean, most college teams lose like more than 3 games in a season, like
Mhm.
once you get to college, I mean, I don't know how many games Pitt will win or lose each of your years at Pitt, but I mean, is that going to be a bit of a, I don't want to say shock, but a little bit like you're coming from a place where you never lost games to a place where just sort of naturally you're probably going to lose a couple games each year because that's just how it goes in college. Are you sort of prepared for maybe losing a little bit more than you're used to?
I mean, hopefully, if I can get there and change it to where we don't gotta lose too much, I mean, I would definitely love to do that. But I mean, losing sometimes, Coach Mike says even when you win, sometimes you lose. And I think, with that, just even in our wins, like there's still some mistakes we make on film. So like, I mean, it may be a great win, but there's definitely still some improvement. I think if we lose, I think it'll just help the team because we can really see and like break down stuff like that. But coming in where there's a lot more games too, I think. And the chance of losing. I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen, but I feel like basketball kind of helps because there's a lot of basketball games.
Right.
So I kind of get a little bit of losing.
This is like a really good interview. I'm talking to a guy who just went 14-0 and won a state championship, and most of my questions have been about losing games. So I'm really, kind of going the wrong direction here. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about, you. I mean, obviously you shine on both sides of the ball. At Aliquippa, scored a lot of touchdowns. When you get to Pitt, I mean, it's all defense, though, right? You're
Yeah.
focusing in on defense. What are they talking to you about? How you fit into their defense, what linebacker spot you play, and why you're a good fit for it.
Well, which linebacker spot? I feel like that'll just come down to how I grow in the next few years, just how my body like matures and stuff like that. But the way that I like move around and stuff out there, they feel like I could play Mike, Star, or any of the three linebacker spots.
Okay. What do you feel like would be a good fit for you? I mean, you've watched their defense, you've studied it, or, talked to the coaches about what position you feel like you'd be best at, like the Mike or, the money, just kind of blitzing or Star dropping into coverage. What do you think is a good fit?
I mean, I feel like I would just have to go up there and like practice it and see which one I got a feel for. I mean, personally, I would say Mike because that's just been what I've been playing like my whole entire life. But I mean, whatever I feel I feel like once I start practicing it and whatever I feel more comfortable with, that'll be what I end up doing.
Sure. Did you watch Pitt? Obviously you watched Pitt a lot this year. I know you were at games and stuff. I mean, did you watch their defense closely enough to notice some of the linebackers, see a guy that you feel like you play with or a guy you tried to kind of keep an eye on?
Yeah, Bengali, he had 11, so like, that's the number I wear. So I was watching him a little close. And then I was Solomon DeShields and Shane Simon were people that I was watching closely. But I mean some of them like hit the transfer portal, so it might be a little different when I get there. But I mean, with the guys that we still have, I mean, I'm sure I know a couple of the guys on the team, and so it should be fun regardless, though.
You mentioned the transfer portal. I mean, you're a guy coming, you're about to enter the world of college football. I mean, what do you think when you look on Twitter and you see like, oh, another guy, another, and not even just from Pitt, but just all over the country. Oh, there goes another guy to the portal, another guy to the port. I mean, this is the world you're about to walk into in, whatever, 5 months, 6 months when you move to Pitt in
Mhm.
June. I mean, what do you make of it? What do you kind of think of it when you see all these guys just going to the portal year after year?
I mean, it's ever since the portal's been opened up, it's changed college football in a lot of ways, and then also with NIL and stuff like that too. But I wake up every day and there's somebody new in the portal. So I mean, it's just kind of like how college football is now. You know, if people don't like the situations that they're in, they might end up just wanting to leave, and I feel like that changes kind of how it was before. Instead of sticking it out and grinding, like how people would before, they kind of just, if there's something they don't like, they'll just leave.
Yeah. As far as Pitt goes, just one or two more questions. I'm curious about Coach Manilak. I'm sure you've talked to him a lot, spent a lot of time with him, film and everything. What stands out to you about Coach Manilak, and what are you looking forward to about working with him?
Nah, man, he's always pumped up every time he see me. You know, it's always a good time. But he's just always checking up on me and my family. And you know, not only is it about football to him, but it's definitely like, you know, the bond that we built. So it's definitely, and then just him coaching, you know, he's gonna push me for the better. So I found a great relationship with Coach Manilak.
Hmm. And as you talk to the coaches throughout the season, obviously it was a rough season for them, going 3-9. You talk to the coaches or talk to the players, watch the team. I mean, what were they telling you about what was happening, and what did you see, and what gives you confidence that when you get there, things are going to be able to turn around?
Honestly, I feel like defensive wise, it wasn't really too bad of a season. I think the defense, from what I was watching, they played a really great year. I mean, if you can go back to like Cincinnati game, the first game they ended up losing. I mean, they did get up on them early, but I mean, they started holding them down for like the most of the game. I think it was just a little bit of offensive struggles, but I mean, that just comes with time. I feel like, you know, this year, I'm sure they'll try and figure out what they can do. And then defense, I think the way Coach Bates coach and how everybody moves and they like, you know, they like getting up in the quarterback's face and stuff like that. So I think defensive wise, it'll be good for how I play and then just how they play. I think they'll end up having a good year defensive wise. It's just offensively, they just got to get it clicking. But I mean, I'm sure that'll come with time.
Sure, sure. All right, Cam. Oh, the last thing. How big are you nowadays? What's your height and weight?
I'm still about 6'2" and I'm 200. Just been trying to keep that 200 weight.
Well, you got to play hoops, right? So you can't
Yeah.
don't want to get too big. What's I mean, Aliquip, I mean, state title and hoops too. Is that what it is? Double up?
Yeah, that's the goal. The last 2 years in hoops, we've been to the state final and we ended up losing. So hopefully we can finish it out this year.
Nice, nice. All right. Well, good luck, Cam. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I'm glad we could catch up. Good luck with everything, and we will. I'm sure we'll be keeping an eye on you during the hoop season. Then we'll talk to you once you get to Pitt next June. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Thank you.